Welcome back. Thank you for spending your afternoon here with Talk Pittsburgh. Ahead this half hour, it's a double dose of tech talk. How Meta's big bet on VR became a big flop. And we're seeing more AI actors on the big screen. The latest is a very recognizable face. But first, let's get into some good news that has us talking. Good news if you're looking for something fun and creative for the kids. The Legacy Arts Dance Project in Homewood is growing its dance programming. They're launching a 12-week youth dance collective with styles ranging from hip-hop and ballet basics to West African and contemporary for kids ages 3 to 10 years old. And for adults, there's also a new Afro movement dance class on Wednesday nights that promises a no-judgment zone to just move and have fun. It's all part of helping people in Pittsburgh connect through dance. And 2 performers from our area have been chosen as semifinalists in a national talent search. Maylee Orovitz from Gibsonia and Brett Barthélemy from Aliquippa are competing to be the first ever Broadway's Next Triple Threat winner. Maylee is a graduate of Oakland Catholic High School. It's amazing. And Brett is an alum of Lincoln Park Performing Arts School. You may recognize him from appearing on KDKA before. There he is teaching Daisy some moves. We wish both Maylee and Brett the best of luck. Well, a few years ago, the company behind Facebook made a huge announcement about the future of technology. The idea was a fully immersive digital universe where people could connect, work, play, and experience life online in a whole new way. Here's how CEO Mark Zuckerberg introduced that vision back in 2021.
To reflect who we are and what we hope to build, I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta. Our mission remains the same. It's still about bringing people together. Our apps and their brands, they're not changing either. And we are still the company that designs technology around people.
Now, that announcement set off a massive push toward building this virtual world. But since then, the road hasn't been exactly smooth. There are questions about whether the metaverse vision is evolving or fading. Joining us to explain what's happening behind the scenes and screens is Dr. Jess Ghilani. And so I'm so happy that you're here to break this down. Just really quickly, what is the metaverse for people who don't know?
Yeah, so the metaverse is kind of like a virtual reality simulation. It's not entirely new conceptually. There were things like Second Life and The Sims that existed before the metaverse, before Meta decided to kind of invest $80 billion in this technology. It was really where Zuckerberg saw the future of tech going, and I think he made a bad bet.
And Sims, I remember playing that. It was a game, right? Yes.
Yeah, so these are games. These are, the Horizon Worlds platform is what Meta has, and that was what they made the big announcement about. And it's basically like a space where you can be a developer, you can kind of start your own game and create. It's not dissimilar from Roblox, except rather than being on mobile primarily, it's actually for like serious gamers that have the big gaming computer and like the headsets and all of the big monitors and stuff.
Okay, thank you for breaking that down. But there's something that's happening with that, and it's not exactly what people had planned for.
Yeah, so Meta had announced that they were going to be sunsetting Horizon Worlds, I think in June or July, and there was a massive backlash among the very passionate users of this technology, of this kind of platform space.
Right.
So what they did instead was the next day they said, okay, we're not going to completely get rid of this, but we are pivoting our focus to be on mobile. So it sounds like they want to, if they're going to kind of take resources away from this technology and maybe pivot to try to be a competitor to Roblox, because there's a big difference in the user base of those 2 platforms.
Okay, so in this metaverse, I mean, they, like you said earlier, they invested billions of dollars in this. So that means they thought that this thing was going to take off.
Yeah. I mean, they centered their entire rebrand around it by calling themselves Meta. And $80 billion is a massive amount of money. They have about a couple 100,000 active monthly users. That sounds like a lot on its surface, but to give you a comparative figure, Roblox has 100 million active daily users. Wow. So there's a lot of room for them to get better.
That's a big difference. So, I mean, why are aspects of this being shut down? Is it just people are just not using it?
Yeah, it cost them so much money that they decided that, you know, their future, they think that the future is in AI. And that's where a lot of other competitors that they see as their peers have invested their money. So they want to stay competitive, and the metaverse isn't it.
Okay, all right. So how can we interpret all of what's happening? It seems like there's a better thing happening on the block, as I would say.
Well,
like there's something else happening here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the focus on AI is a mixed bag, because so often I'll look at the comments on their platform of Facebook, and people will be like, this is AI, or I don't believe this to be real. And the kind of explosion of AI has really called into question our trust in anything that we see. So if we're trading the metaverse for a lot of AI content that is unverifiable and maybe slop, I don't know if that's a great bet.
I know.
But it is where a lot of those tech companies think the money will be.
I kind of feel like we could have just stayed in the metaverse.
Yeah,
It seems like a little safer. All right. All right, well, you're going to stick around for a conversation later. Still to come on Talk Pittsburgh, we're checking in with our KDK News team for your first look at the evening news. Plus, a new film is using AI to bring late actor Val Kilmer back to the screen, even though he never filmed a single scene. Dr. Jess, she's going to stick around to break down the technology and the debate behind it. That's next. What if Hollywood actors didn't have to say goodbye to its biggest stars? Artificial intelligence is opening the door to something that once seemed impossible, bringing back actors to the big screen after they've passed away. In fact, a new film plans to use AI to recreate late actor Val Kilmer in a starring role. It's a development that has people both fascinated and a little uneasy. So what does this mean for the future of movies and television? And where do we draw the line? Dr. Jess Ghilani is back to break it all down. Please give us a little background on how all of this came to be.
Yeah, so Val Kilmer unfortunately passed away. He had battled with throat cancer for a while, and he had been cast in a film that the director had been producing for a number of years already, and just kind of getting everything in place before actually filming. And he was very reluctant, the director, to recast that role. So they received permission from Val Kilmer's estate to create an AI avatar of Val Kilmer. And that is going to be one of the stars of the film. I think it comes out later this year.
I'm just so, what do you think about this? I mean, because I'm thinking in my head, like, would Val Kilmer, would he be okay with this?
It's really hard to say since we can't ask him, but I do think that we have some indication that Val Kilmer was on the cutting edge of accepting AI being a presence in the industry. Because for the film Top Gun Maverick, he was going to reprise his role as Iceman, the character that he was in the original Top Gun film. And at that point, he had had a surgery that altered his voice permanently. It was a part of that throat cancer treatment. And he was nervous about how it wouldn't sound like himself. So he actually worked with an AI company to use archival footage of his voice and create and generate a new voice. So he acted in that film, but his voice was artificial intelligence generated. Yes. And so to me, it says that he kind of sees a place for this. I imagine that losing your voice I mean, he could still talk, but it sounded very different, was probably a really difficult predicament to be in. So in that way, artificial intelligence brought back a part of himself that he longed for.
Yes, it was helpful, right? So he was already kind of in this space. And the question is, what concerns do people have about this? Because I know there are people on both sides of the camp here.
Sure. I think anytime there's a new technology that could represent a threat to existing labor, that's going to be a really difficult question for people. And I think, that could normalize it. Even if we have the permission, even if this is one of the most ethical examples of this technology being implemented because they have the permission and Val Kilmer was already kind of like on board with the idea of this, I think it does make it as though, okay, well, this is now becoming normal. And that could be a problem, especially for something like the Screen Actors Guild, like the unions of actors who don't want their talent and their art form to be taken over.
Right, that's their livelihood right there.
Absolutely.
How do you feel audiences think about this? Like, what, you know, in watching a movie and the character, the actor is no longer living.
Yeah, I think audiences are extremely skeptical. There's public opinion polling that shows that 75% of people do not want AI to be extremely present in their art and entertainment. And I think it kind of makes sense that so many people are skeptical about it, because film in particular, as well as other art forms, remind us of what it means to be uniquely human.
Yeah.
And it connects deeply with our sense of humanity. So if we are allowing technology to fill that role, it really does feel like a threat.
Yeah, well, you know, my husband, he's an actor, and so I witness the hard work and the competitiveness in that field. And when he gets a role, he's just so excited, and he worked really hard for it. So I can't imagine that being taken away, or him having another competitive element added on to what's already there. It seems really unfair.
It really does. And I think it is, you know, when we see an actor personify a role, that's such a beautiful thing. I mean, we award it, we celebrate it, and we relish in it. And to have it become something that's automated, I hope that it doesn't become the norm.
I was going to say, what's your take on this? But I think I'm understanding that, because for me it creeps me out a little bit, and I don't think that it's a good thing. But I know some people may feel a little different. But thank you, Jess. This was a good conversation, and let's have more. There's so much more, really. All right. Well, Dr. Jess offers commentary on both tech and culture on her Instagram stories and Substack newsletter. We'll link you up to those on our website.